I was going to start with Hong Kong, but since you did that Ukraine thing, let's start there. I'm curious about your call on all parties to take, what was it, feasible actions?
Feasible precautions to prevent.
Precautions. I mean, is that, so you're stopping short of saying they should cease firing? I mean,
Well, certainly we believe, Matt, that the ceasefire should be abided by, but we also want to reiterate that they should abide by international humanitarian law, allow for access for humanitarian organizations, respect facilities. So it's just reiterating the overall point.
okay, but when you say all feasible precautions, it suggests that you're saying that something less than a all 100% ceasefire would be acceptable to you, but that's not the case.
Well, certainly what we'd like to see, as I think the Ukrainians would like to see, since they are abiding by the ceasefire, is for this to be respected. Clearly, the recent events have put a strain on the ceasefire, but at the same time, there are additional steps we can emphasize, and that's what I was doing.
Okay, Ukraine, you're saying that Ukraine is abiding by the ceasefire? It's only the rebels who are, and the Russian-backed separatists who are not complying with it?
Well,
I was under the impression that
there are, but
violations
I
on
would
both
remind you
sides.
that Ukraine is a sovereign country, which the Russian separatists have invaded and been on the ground in, and so it's a little different defending yourself than taking aggressive action.
Okay, so the administration's position then is that the Ukraine, what might be called violations of the ceasefire on Ukraine are only in response to violations from the other side, from the rebels.
It remains the case, Matt, that when there's a case of civilian casualties or when aggression results in the deaths of innocent civilians, that we, of course, want all sides to take precautions. So that's important to emphasize. But certainly, we think the majority of the blame belongs on the Russian separatist side.
Okay, and then you mentioned the Kerry Lavrov call, 10 minutes, the secretary called him. Mm-hmm. And as a result of that call, do you have any greater hope or expectation that things are going to calm down?
Well, we'll see, Matt. They did agree to stay in touch. I expect they'll either talk or be in touch in the coming days. But again, I think the secretary felt it was important to reach out, given the violence we've seen at this point in time on the ground.
Okay.
Do we have any more in Ukraine?
Syria, Turkey.
Any Ukraine?